Here's Neil. A little kick from the centre. Kilroy thought he had it for a moment. Picked up by Brian Bird, the winger for Norths. Trailed across by Neil, who kicked the ball and tackled very well. Kilroy. And Neil and one up the main tackle there again. Brian Bird's up into the dummy half position and runs onto the blind side, has to go like a forward. There's no one really in position to take it, or close enough up. And here's Mark Graham, slipping it back then to Probitz, and Probitz running strongly over the halfway mark, looking for the support for Strasser there. And Strasser was well and truly bottled up, but Norths had the chance then. It was a nice run by Probitz.
Yes, a good break. Graham opened that up.
And here's John Payne. Payne coming out on the blind side. Look at Payne really crashing through. And
but where's the support? No support going with him.
And Valleys were holding off there a little bit, weren't they? Certainly gave him a pretty easy run through as it comes to Murray. Tries a little kick over the top. It went straight into the arms of the Valley player. And it's a penalty to Norths. And this kick by Warnock almost in front. Valley's leading 13-0. It should be 2 points to Norths, but it's not. It's waved away, and so a very easy kick has been missed. 10 minutes before half-time, the diehards are leading 13-0, having scored 3 tries to 0, and they'll drop out. And, of course, the other one, that man, McQuirter, he seems to be always one of the tacklers in there for Valley. On to Canescu, the hooker, then to Graham with a little kick following through the 5-8. Gets it back again, too. Bounces away from one tackler, gets it away from Donald Grover, and Grover goes down to put the first try on the board for North between the posts, and Valley's lead North 13-3.
And that's the tactic that will score the try for North. They've got to break up that Valley's defence. As Arthur said a few minutes ago, there's always seems to be 3 or 4 Valley's defenders in there, and the little chip over the top is a sure way of beating that defence. Watch Lewis goes up here for the ball. Goes for the ball and not the man. And I suppose that's a positive way to do it. And that's Neville Draper backing up beautifully to score the try.
Gary Warnock takes the conversion attempt, and up go the flags, and so North must be feeling a little bit better now. They played pretty well just before that try came up, and with that excellent work from the 5'8" Mark Murray, and across it comes to Henrik, and then to Strasser further back with Dunn putting it down, and picked up by McNeil, and then able to get it onto Wheeland, and Wheeland over the quarter line. So Brian Dunn having another mishandle today. Across to Wally Lewis. It was a bad pass. Affleck picks it up and gets it off the ground. This is scooped up on about the half volley for the Lock Edwards. Back inside to Niebling. Niebling running quickly. Valley's turn on the pace very quickly, John, don't they?
They do.
Get these opportunities.
Yes, acceleration.
They accelerate quickly, forwards as well as the backs. So big Alan McGuinness strides through. McGuinness is over for another try for Valley's. That's the 4th try, and Valley's lead 16-5.
Well, here again, the defence is standing off him, looking for the supports, because they realise big old McGuinness is going to go in, turn the hip him, turn around and give the pass.
16-5 as Neil comes in for the kick. And up go the flags, and it's Valley's 18. Valley's in C grade, 24-11. North's 24, Valley's 11 in C grade. In reserve grade, Valley's 23 beat North's 18. Valley's 23, North's 18. In C grade at Davies, Souths beat West's 19-9, and Wynnum Manly beat Brothers 10-3. And in reserve grade, Souths beat West 27-3, and Brothers defeated Wynnum Manly 24-8, and that's it for half-time, with Valley's leading North. And it's Valley's from the northern end of the ground on the right in this the second half as the ball goes down to Strasser, and it's North centre to play it back to Graham, playing a block forward today, and here's Dews, tackled by Summer and also Callaghan. Canescu, now Draper, Niebling, into the low tackle, and Richards over the top. Canescu, Payne, dumming as if to pass, and then trying to get the pass back, and he does so too as it comes on to Canescu. Ross Henrik, the halfback's up there, sent it across to Murray. Strasser outside of him. Ian Summer, the tackler. Kilroy, North's fullback, is up there as it comes to Graham. And Graham tries to get the break, gets it back inside to Probert, but a good tackle led from Col Edwards, a lock forward, to break that movement up. Valley's leading by 18 points to 5. Just inside Valley's territory, and it's a penalty again against Canescu, and the crowd starting to give referee Eddie Ward what for from this outer grandstand, because that's the 5th penalty, I think, against Canescu. It was out from Valley's line in the scrum as it comes to the lock forward, then to McQuirter. McQuirter gets away from Strasser, then is pulled down by Mark Murray, playing in the opposite position. McQuirter, of course, in 16 jersey, and one of the wingers, Doug Muir, in 15. The reason Valley's tell us is that 4 of their jerseys were stolen, presumably off a clothesline. So if you see any people running around in Valley's jerseys, 5, 6 and company, Wally Lewis makes the break over the quarter line now, looks for the support, Coming back inside was a player flying through there, but Wally Lewis was stopped. Now, almost referee blows to play the ball and onto John Payne. Payne turning it back, or dummied it, crows across to the little halfback Henrik as the New Zealander Graham went flying through, but it was a dummy on there. There's Payne up into the dummy half position now, and he'll be anxious to get into the game. Goes himself, sends it across to Murray, and Murray is put down about 6 metres out. That's a 6 tackle, so we'll have the scrum as he was tackled by the lock forward, Cole Edwards, and also McQuirter was thereabouts. North's ball 5 metres out from the line as Hendricks decides to go back the other way to Kilroy. Kilroy breaks away, and here's a try for Norths as Kilroy slips across for the second try for Norths, and Valleys are leading 18-8.
Yes, Hendricks sensed that they had the defence weak on the right-hand side of the scrum and went to go left, turned back and went down the right-hand side and picked up Gilroy. See Gilroy there on the right-hand side of the scrum now, number 1, fed by Lewis. A good win by North. Henry goes there, looks there, comes back the other way, picks up, gets out of Affleck's tackle and goes in and scores the try. Does Gilroy.
Gary Warnock attempting the conversion. Valleys leading 18-8. About 21 minutes left in the game. Warnock's kick looks a good one, straight down the middle. Up go the flags, and so Valleys lead Norths 18 points to 10. Tries scored in the first half were scored much more easily than Norths, who really had to work for their tries. Valleys leading 18-10, and it's a penalty to Valleys. McNeil attempting this penalty kick at goal. Valleys have yet to put points on the board in the second half after 29 minutes of play in this session. McNeil missed an easy one before. This is 15 metres in from touch, and he's raised the flags. So that's the first points to Valleys in the second half for the boot of centre McNeil. And Valleys go to a lead of 20 points to 10 late evening as he spun out of it. Then is picked up by Ian Summer on Valleys quarter line. Kilroy decides to go on his own, gets it back to Bernarden. Bernarden puts it out from one player, tried to get away to support, and it's almost has lost ball. No, it's not. I thought they'd lost it for a moment there, North. The halfback finished with it. Out to John Payne. Payne into the New Zealander. Graham spinning through now. But Mark Graham through for North's third try. Just raced through Valleys as easily as Valleys went through North earlier. And so the score is 20 points to 13 in favour of Valleys.
Well, we've heard plenty about this fellow. He came here with a very big reputation.
So left in the game. Henricks up there into the dummy half position, onto Bernarden, and the crowd starting to surge for Norths now as Payne sends a long pass out wide to Warnock on the right wing. Back inside now, Warnock looks for the gap and can't find it, gets it back inside. Ball loose, picked up by John Payne. 6 tackles to go as it hit the Valley player, and it's Valleys leading 20-15. 4 minutes left in the game. Norths in possession on the halfway mark. Across it comes to the second row of the New Zealander, then to Strasser. Strasser was ankle tapped. McQuirter finishing the tackle. A North player left on the ground there, injured as it comes across to the New Zealander. Graham working the ball very well to Draper. Draper's up to the quarter line. Draper racing through. Draper goes to the line. Here's a try for North, and he's going to put it down 10 metres in. His second try.
Well, here we are. A real game on our hands, and it was again the New Zealander Mark Graham, the man that I personally have been critical of. I haven't seen enough of him in the games that he's played, but let's watch now. It's he that stands everybody up, dummies on the inside, the outside, and then picks up Draper. But a great run by the little fellow, and over he goes to score a try.
And this vital conversion attempt 10 metres in from touch by Gary Warnock. This would level the scores with about a minute and a half left in the game. Warnock's kick, and it's away to the right, and so Valleys lead by 2 points still, 20 points to 18, and it's probably saved the day for Valleys. But they've certainly been extended today, Valleys. In the second half, Norths have scored 13 points to 2. Only a minute left in the game as McNeil restarts play. Norths having scored 13 points to 2 in the second half as the ball comes down to the Norths player who brings it up about 15 metres out from his own line. Just looking at Norths, a bit unlucky, missing a very easy kick in front, but of course Valleys missed one in front as well. As on it comes to Bernarden. Bernarden holds it up now and looks for the support. Bernarden had a full game in reserve grade, coming on as a reserve in this match, replacing Dews in the second half to Kilroy. And it will take just about a miracle for North to win this game. That's Bernarden turning in the tackle. With less than a minute or so of play remaining, North's trying just too hard, knocking the ball on, and then North's in an offside position. It's a penalty to Valleys, with that loose ball being touched by Kilroy, I think it was. The full-time hooter should come up at any moment. Valleys leading North's 20 points to 18, and McNeil takes the penalty kick for the line. And that pretty well decides that the game has been won by Valleys, as Valleys will take the second kick as it goes to Paul Richards. And Richards looks for this, decides to go on his own. Valleys very nearly had to share this game as Summer puts his head down and dives with it, but they've won the game. They're fourth in a row to Valleys, and Valleys have beaten Norths 20 points to 18.